Sup you beautiful people. Hope you've had a fantastic day. Welcome back to another new episode of What If Naruto Has a Demonic Heritage. If you guys enjoyed this what if, comment down below and let me know. And go ahead and check out other what ifs in the channel after watching this video. Don't forget to shower some appreciation onto the incredible author responsible for this fanfiction. The link is conveniently waiting for you in the description down below. Before we get into it though, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like, and also share this video with your friends. So let's start this video. Where am I? Naruto wondered as he looked around. He was on a mountain of some sort. Stone pillars towered over him. The full moon was behind him. It seemed so close. He wondered if he reached out. Could he touch it? That's strange. Droplets of water were frozen, hovering in midair. When he moved his hand though, he felt the dampness collect on his arm. He also saw that he left a trail of clear air where his arm passed. Damn, that's interesting. Then he noticed the two men frozen in the middle of battle. They looked almost exactly the same. If it wasn't for the difference in color of their clothes, it would have been impossible to tell them apart. Both had silver hair matted to their hair from the pouring rain. Looks of identical rage on their features. They even looked kind of familiar. He just couldn't remember where. You've heard of it, haven't you? The Legend of Sparta. He was instantly alert, trying to pinpoint the voice. It sounded like a woman telling a story to an infant. Everything sprang to life at the sound of her voice. The rain resumed its collision course to the ground. The battle that was frozen in time moments ago came back to life with frightening intensity. Long ago, in ancient times, a demon rebelled against his own kind for the sake of the human race. With his sword he shut the portal to the demonic world and sealed the evil entities off from our human world. But since he was a demon himself, his power was also trapped on the other side. The voice resonated from all around him. Since he couldn't find the source, he just listened and watched as the fight raged on. Their swordsmanship made Naruto's skills look like a beginner. The swords were invisible blurs, meeting in explosions of water. Neither seemed to be giving or losing any ground as their blades danced around them. One final clash and the water exploded around them in the shape of a dome. Then they were frozen again with their swords still locked. When he felt a hand on his shoulder, he instinctively went for his sword only to find it gone. He turned to see the face of the person able to sneak up on him. Damn. The woman couldn't be that older than 20. She wore a cheongsam, or form-fitting dress, with the sleeves cut off and large slits in the dress for a wider range of movement. It also showed off her bust and legs quite nicely. She wore skin-tight leggings with high-heel boots under the dress, and on her arms were thick wristbands. All her clothes were black in color. Her hair was blonde and went down to her waist. All in all, she looked hot. She eyed him with an amused expression before turning to the two locked in battle and continuing. Their powers are impressive, are they not? Not even fully grown into their demonic heritage, and they can already defeat demons centuries older than them. Of course, what else is to be expected from Sparta's own two sons? But alas, their stories has passed. This is Yu's story, descendant of Sparta. So I'm related to this Sparta guy too? Naruto asked, staring at his arm. That's where I got my devil bringer from. The woman also looked at his arm as if knowing what lay under the bandages. Yes, this is how you have acquired your unique abilities. Even now, as we speak, your power grows as your devil blood becomes even more potent. A word of warning, you will face difficult challenges ahead that will cause you to use this power. But you must not let it consume you, or you risk becoming a slave to your own darkness. The world around them went pitch black without warning, a desolate void with nothing in it. The dreams will become more frequent, but for now our time is up. Hey, what the hell, I still got questions. What challenges? And what do you mean my blood is becoming more potent? And who are you anyway? Naruto shouted to her. All will be revealed in time, young one. She spoke calmly. But for now you must return. She suddenly lashed out with an open palm thrust, hitting him square in the chest and sending him flying. He shot up from his bed with a start. He just sat there for a moment, collecting his thoughts and absently noting the rising sun outside. Damn it! All she did was give me more questions. It was the day he finally started his career as a genin. Naruto was walking to the academy when a blur of pink and yellow rushed past him. What the hell was that? He shrugged. Oh well, not like it's my problem. Iruka sat at his desk thinking. What was going through his mind, you may ask? I can't believe Naruto was able to kill Mizuki. I know he's strong, but Mizuki was still a chunin, rookie chunin, but a chunin nonetheless. Ever since Naruto joined the academy, Iruka watched him carefully, believing he was the QB. But as he watched, he only saw how human the child really was. Iruka didn't know when it happened, but his opinion of Naruto changed. Iruka started to try and understand Naruto. When the child would get in trouble, he'd ask the boy his side, and every time he got reasonable answers. He came to discover some teachers that went out of their way to getting him into trouble when it clearly wasn't his fault. Iruka got the child out of plenty jams, but there were some even he couldn't fix, no matter how strong his evidence was. In doing this, he earned the boy's respect, trust, and immunity from the more creative pranks. Oh, Iruka still got pranked alright, but those were more good-natured and funny than the others created out of revenge. Some of those others still made him shudder. When Naruto started training himself into the ground and stopped caring what others thought of him, naturally Iruka worried. When Iruka asked him about it, he didn't know what terrified him the most, the way the boy said it, or the answer itself. Iruka-sensei, there are people who have already made up their minds, and no matter how hard I try, I'm not gonna change it. So if I can never have their respect, then I will have their fear. It's as simple as that. He let out a deep sigh. You need to stop worrying, Iruka. Besides, it's time to start these kids on their careers as a ninja. But before Iruka had a chance to start his speech, the newly repaired door was hurled open by two bickering young kunoichi who rushed in at the same time. I want Ino-Pig, so I get to sit next to Sasuke-kun. The pink-haired one shouted to the blonde. No way, foreheads don't count, Sakura. Besides, any decent ninja could see that I won by a mile. The blonde-haired girl, Ino, shouted back at the pink-haired Sakura. The two were now fighting next to said seat, trying to push the other out the way. Iruka was just about to intervene when everyone stopped talking to stare, even Ino and Sakura. Naruto Uzumaki casually walked in, pausing briefly to look around. He calmly walked to the nearest open seat, which just happened to be the one Ino and Sakura were fighting over, and sat down, kicking his feet up. None of the students moved. They all knew you never got in between the two head members of the Sasuke fan club. Get out of my seat, Naruto! The two girls screamed in union. The girls' eyes widened in realization of what they had done. A loud collection of gasps was heard throughout the classroom. Besides not getting in the way of the Sasuke fan club, there was another rule you never broke unless you wanted to spend some quality time at the hospital. Never, ever, even think about messing with Uzumaki Naruto, no matter what the circumstance. It was made absolutely clear the first few days of the academy when a few older kids thought it would be fun to pick on the new kid because his mom had died a few days. Kids had the advantage of numbers, size, training in ninja arts, and experience. Even with all that, not one of them ever looked the same again. Naruto had beat the crap out of them. The term "a face only a mother could love" was redefined. The message was loud and clear. Do not fuck with me, ever. The kids that attacked him were hospitalized for at least a month, and after they got out they quit the academy. Some because they couldn't continue, and others out of sheer fear of what would happen if they ever went back. The kids' parents tried to do something, but they couldn't find anything to fault Naruto on since it was self-defense. But back to what Sakura and Ino are doing now that they have realized they broke this. Girls were now trembling in fear of what would happen to them. They heard the rumors of what Naruto did to girls, and let's say that they would rather be beat up. Naruto lazily opened his eyes, freezing them in place, then slowly got up from his seat. He seemed to tower over the two girls even though he was only a few inches taller. He ever so slowly leaned closer to them before pausing. His cold blue orb staring into their very tension in the room was now so thick it could be cut with a kunai. The girls who were normally rivals were hugging on to each other in terror. They were so scared they could wet themselves. Iruka had to hold back a laugh. Too bad they don't know Naruto hates to hurt women. The silence was broken by Naruto. You two should sit down somewhere. Your legs are barely keeping you up. And with that he sat back down, leaving the seat next to Sasuke open and inviting. He made sure to leave room for one to pass by him. A sigh from the class echoed through the room. Sakura and Ino crumpled to the ground. Iruka decided to clear his throat loudly. Would you girls kindly have a seat? One problem, there was only one other seat in the row above Naruto. That meant one would have to sit next to him, while the other could sit safely above him. Although you wanted to sit next to Sasuke-kun, Ino? Sakura asked nervously, trying to keep her voice from stuttering too much. Sakura was a smart girl, she liked Sasuke, but it wasn't worth her life. What about you, Sakura? You wanted to sit next to him too, didn't you? Ino corrected, failing just as miserably to hide her fear. Ino, while not as book smart, still knew life was worth living. They both sat there for a while, eyeing the seat next to Sasuke nervously. Iruka was getting impatient. They were going to have to solve this soon. Look, we'll make play a game. Loser has to sit there with Naruto. Ino proposed. Deal. The game is slug, toad, snake. First one to lose sits next to Sasuke and Naruto. Fair? Sakura asked. Fair, Ino answered. 1, 2, 3, go. Draw. 1, 2, 3, go. Draw. 1, 2, 3, go. One of them eeped at the result, so scared she wasn't able to scream. Sakura was now looking fearfully at Naruto, while Ino was safe seated in the row above. Iruka had finished his lecture and was going though teams. Team 7 will consist of Harino Sakura, Uchiha Sasuke. Sakura would have jumped for joy, but she was too busy worrying. Please not Naruto, please not Naruto, please not, and Uzumaki Naruto. Iruka finished. Oh no. She thought, slowly turning her head in his direction. He was just sitting there, feet kick up and eyes closed. It's like he doesn't care who's on his team. She couldn't seem to make out any emotions on his face. Quit staring, babe, you're making me blush, he said sarcastically, not opening his eyes. Eep. Her head snapped up to the front to see Iruka finishing his lecture on team structure. The nerve of that baka, CHA. Ignoring her inner persona's rant, she as the Jounin teachers walked in the room and called for their teams. None called for Team 7 though. I'm sure our teacher is just running a little late. Right. The man in the clouds burst out laughing. Hours later we find them still there. What's taking him so long? Inner Sakura wasn't pleased with their new sensei's tardiness, and neither was she. So what do you think our Jounin sensei is like? Sakura said, trying to make small talk. Naruto shrugged from his seat in the corner, and Sasuke only grunted, still in his same seat. It had been at least an hour since Iruka-sensei left. Whoever this guy is, I don't like him, Naruto said, eyes still closed. Sasuke just grunted again. Naruto cracked an eye open to peer at Sasuke. Hey pretty boy, get that stick out of your ass. We're on the same team now, so we're gonna have to talk to each other eventually. A vein came to life on Sasuke's forehead. Naruto continued. Oh, and do you try and make your hair look like a bird's ass, or is it just like that naturally? That vein was joined by others while his eyes started twitching. What about you, babe? You seem to be able to talk. What do you think about the team? Naruto said, switching his attention to Sakura. Sakura was still wondering what was taking their new Jounin sensei so long. A little small talk can't hurt. Besides, I wonder if the rumors about Naruto are true. Well, we seem to be balanced out well. Sasuke is Rookie of the Year. I'm top in academics, and you are dead last. Punk. Inner Sakura finished for her. Of course she wouldn't dare say that out loud. I'm what? He taunted. She's saying you're dead last, idiot. Sasuke glared. Hey, the pretty boy can speak after all. I may be dead last, but I can still sweep, mop, and dry the floor with your bird-ass-shaped head. Rookie of the Year, more like show-off of the year. What, you angry? You gonna do something or go sulk in a corner somewhere? Naruto had his full attention on Sasuke now. Sasuke didn't know what it was. Normally he could just ignore people, but this guy just got on his nerves effortlessly. Sakura watched, a little afraid of what might happen from her seat a row above Sasuke. If they decided to fight, she wouldn't be able to stop them. Come on, Naruto, Sasuke just meant that your skills are unknown. Sakura tried valiantly to stop the melee that was soon to come. No. I meant exactly what I said, he is a loser, Sasuke said harshly. You want to prove I'm dead last, pretty boy, or are you afraid you're gonna break a nail? Naruto answered, smiling. His blue orbs locked on Sasuke's dark black ones, waiting for him to make a move. Sakura noticed the subtle signs of muscles tensing in preparation to strike in Sasuke's body. But before he could attack, the door opened, letting in a silver-haired man with a ninja mask covering the bottom portion of his face and his forehead protector covering his left eye. He stood in the doorway for a moment before saying, Well, I can tell you three are going to be a handful already. The new Team 7 candidates were now currently on the roof of the academy. The silver-haired man cleared his throat before speaking. Well, since we might be a team, why don't we learn a little bit about each other? You can just stick with the basics like name, likes, dislikes, hobbies, and future goals or dreams. Can you go first, sensei, to show us how? Sakura asked. Me? Sure, my name is Hatake Kakashi. I'm the kind of guy who doesn't talk about his likes or dislikes. My dreams for the future are really none of your business, and well, I have a lot of hobbies. Naruto voiced the genin's thoughts. Wow, that was an annoying way to tell us your name. Well, how about you next since you volunteered? Kakashi said, ignoring the sarcastic reply. Let's see. I'm Uzumaki Naruto. My likes, dislikes, hobbies, and dreams don't really matter. Since none of you never really cared to find out before, you obviously don't care now. Just like how I could really give a damn about what any of you say about yourselves. If you want to get to know me, then get to know me. I'm not going to just confess everything to you. Naruto stopped, signifying he was done. Whoa, I didn't know Naruto was such a mystery. All I really know is that he was really nice when I went to his birthday party a few years ago. And that he had a really nice mom. Sakura was now curious of Naruto. Since she basically knew everything about Sasuke, she might as well get to know Naruto now. I wonder if he's really a dope. I have never really seen him fight before, so I can't be sure. Maybe he'll be a worthy opponent. The curiosity seemed to leak to Sasuke as well. The boy has basically shut himself off from others with no desire to seek out companionship. I know he still has a couple of people he considers family, but her death really did almost break him. Not really sure what to do with this one. Judging by the sword, he must prefer it to hand-to-hand combat. As for ninja techniques, the rumor that he was able to copy and use the Kage Bunshin after seeing Mizuki perform it once in the heat of battle shows he has potential in ninjutsu, but not sure where chakra control stands. How about the young lady next? His one eye locking on her. Oh, well, I'm Haruno Sakura. My likes are. Looks at Sasuke and blushes. My dream as well. Looks towards Sasuke again and blushes even deeper while giggling. And I dislike Ino Pig. Humph, she's annoying. Sasuke didn't even respond to the obvious display of affection. Well, can't really say I'm surprised. Fucking harpy, yelling in my ear. Naruto didn't really give a shit about the girl, but his ears were still ringing from her scream. A fangirl if I ever saw one. Low chakra balanced out by high control. Very minimal physical conditioning. Most likely knows absolutely nothing beyond basics. I wonder if I should break her slowly or just crush it out of her fast and without mercy. Either way, I'm going to have to build her basically from scratch. And last but certainly not least, if his title holds true, Kakashi said, looking toward his final member. A title is just a title. Naruto mumbled loud enough for everyone to hear. Uchiha Sasuke. There is almost nothing I like and almost everything else I dislike. I have no dreams. I will restore my clan and kill someone I truly hate. Sasuke is so cool. The girl had a starry look in her eyes as she stared at him. And people think I have issues. Naruto was bored. He could care less about this guy's pity party. I thought so. Most likely training himself in Uchiha combat methods. Although how good he is at them I can only guess till testing him fully. Kakashi thought. Sensei. The girl's voice broke him from his train of thought. When you said a little while ago we might be a team, what did you mean? He chuckled. Nothing, just that the test you have to take to be my team has a 66% of failure. Here. He handed them each a sheet of paper. On those papers are the details of where the test will be. Oh, and I wouldn't eat breakfast if I were you, you'll puke. With that he was gone in a cloud of smoke. Early the next day we find the two kids waiting for their jounin instructor to show up. I wonder where Naruto is. He is an hour late along with Kakashi-sensei. Sakura sat under a tree rubbing her aching stomach. Idiot probably got lost. Sasuke said from his seat in a tree, trying to ignore his own hunger. Boo. Eek. Naruto had somehow got behind Sakura without the girl or Sasuke noticing. Sakura jumped in the air and practically out of her skin, landing a few feet away only to turn to Naruto rolling on the ground laughing. And where have you been, Naruto? She screamed at him, rage getting the best of her. Getting up, he only raised an eyebrow. That's none of your damn business, now is it? Sakura's rage was replaced by fear in seconds. She could faintly smell sown incense. What would he dash? Then it hit her. He was visiting his mother's grave. She didn't know what to say, but luckily she didn't have to. So I guess you guys still waiting for Cyclops? Naruto said, taking a seat under the tree. Yeah, he still hasn't shown up yet. Sakura answered, carefully taking a seat near but not too close to Naruto. This guy better show up soon, Sasuke said from the tree branch. Naruto's not as bad as I thought he was. To be able to get past both of us. What are you hiding? And with that they waited, and waited, and waited. Then after 2 more hours their sensei walked into the clearing only to receive a massive amount of killing intent from the genin. Impressive, but not enough. Setting a clock OA stump and setting it, Kakashi started to explain. I have just set this alarm for noon. He pulled out 2 bells, holding them out in front of him. Your task is to take one of these bells from me before the timer sounds. Anyone that fails gets tied to those stumps with no lunch. Unfortunately it seems I forgot not to eat my light breakfast before this exercise. Naruto almost smiled but decided not to give it away. Kakashi continued, all you need is one. But there are only two, so no matter what, one of you gets no lunch. That person will be the first to fail and will go back to the academy as a disgrace. We will begin on my mark, but I'll give you a hint first. You won't get a bell without the intent to kill. But that's dangerous, Kakashi-sensei. Sakura blurted out, only to be ignored when Kakashi began his count. 3. They realized he wasn't kidding. 2. Each student tensed in preparation. Begin. The students retreated to plan and wait, while the teacher was left standing in the clearing alone. Or so he thought. Naruto stood there in the same spot unmoved. He just stood there looking at Kakashi as if sizing him up. Kakashi didn't want to let his guard down around this one just yet. Naruto was still too unpredictable for cockiness. You know, it is not very smart to confront me head-on, Kakashi said. He could sense something off about this. Look underneath the underneath. Kakashi's answer came in the drawn-out sound of a sword being unsheathed. He is trying to unnerve me. Basic psychology. When Yamato was drawn, Naruto pointed the blade at Kakashi. Then he made his move. Naruto seemed to glide across the ground, his coat fluttering behind him and his sword ready to strike. Streak, Naruto thought, swinging his sword in a wide arc horizontally with all his might, only for Kakashi to stop the blade by catching it between his bare hands. Kakashi pulled Naruto off balance before breaking the blade's tip off and stabbing him with it. Then Naruto went up in smoke. You're going to have to do better than that, Naruto. I've trained with hate as well. Kakashi called out into the forest surrounding them. Just what are you planning? The two genin still hiding in the surrounding foliage both had the same thought, that was a clone. And it was solid? Where did he learn that? Kakashi didn't have to wait long. 5 more Narutos soon surrounded him. They ran around Kakashi in a star formation. They waited for the right moment, and each one slashed their sword for another streak attack. Kakashi kicked 2 in the face, and using them as stepping stools, jumped high into the air. Kakashi didn't expect 2 to follow him into the air using the momentum from a vertical sword slash. High roller following Kakashi, they began their next attack. Aerial rave, their swords blurred as the blades danced around their wielder with impressive speed. Kakashi used one Naruto to take an attack for him. It instantly dispersed. Split landing on the ground, he quickly had to move or risk being cut down the middle by the Naruto in the air. Then Kakashi had to dodge to the side not to be impaled. A Naruto rushed past him, stabbing his own clone. As it disappeared in a burst of smoke, the original just stood there in a defensive stance. You still have work to do if you plan on mastering the Kagebunshin. But I must say the way you used it to probe my defenses while waiting for an opening is slightly impressive, taking into consideration you just learned this technique. But I'm afraid I must end this as I have other students to test. With that, Kakashi disappeared in blinding speed. Reappearing behind Naruto with his hands in a seal, he attacked Senengoroshi. Kakashi then used his tiger seal to violently poke Naruto in the rear, only for that Naruto to disappear as well. So, they were all clones. That one has potential. Now what about the other ones? A rain of shuriken and kunai hit Kakashi head on. His image was then engulfed in smoke, revealing a log. Kakashi, from his safe hiding place, watched as the Rookie of the Year tried to change position. So that's where you're hiding. It is foolish to give away your position, even if you did think my guard was down. Kakashi jumped from his hiding area on the hunt. Our young Kunoichi was desperately trying to find Sasuke, but she didn't find who she was searching for. She barely had enough time to hide herself when Kakashi glossated in her direction. His gaze lingered for a moment, before shifting back to the book he was reading. Good, he hasn't noticed me. PSSSD Sakura, what? Sakura spun around to come face to face with Kakashi. He stared her in the eye, speaking calmly, Megan, Narakumi no Jutsu. Leaves then spun around him and soon engulfed her as well. She was then back in a clearing. Huh, what happened? Where'd Kakashi-sensei go? She thought, looking around frantically. Sakura, she knew that voice. Sasa, she turned to a sight that made her blood run cold. Sasuke was leaning against a tree covered in his own blood. He was full of kunai and shuriken, blood still leaking from the wounds. His left arm and right leg were missing completely, leaving stumps in their places. His left leg was bent at an unnatural angle and already swelling. Then it got worse. Naruto walked into the clearing and grabbed Sasuke by the neck and lifted him off the ground. Sakura, help me. Sasuke managed to choke out along with some blood. Naruto viciously stabbed him as soon as the words left his mouth. As Naruto tore the blade out, he dropped Sasuke. Blood ran freely from the stab as Sasuke's eyes begged for help. And with a flick of his wrist, Yamato decapitated Sasuke. The body fell into its own blood. The head rolled up to Sakura, fixing its glassy eyes on her. Naruto's gaze locked on her, then trailed up and down her body. She felt a shiver race down her spine when she saw his eyes. Those ice-cold eyes were filled with lust. "I think I'll have some fun with you first," he said, walking forward. As he approached, she did the only thing she could think of. She screamed and passed out. Kakashi watched the whole thing from his perch in a tree. Maybe too much, but it is only a simple genjutsu. Sasuke had just finished setting his traps when he heard Sakura's scream. That scream sounded like a person begging for death. Even though she was annoying as all hell, he kind of felt sorry for her. "Don't worry about your little girlfriend Sasuke, she only got caught in a genjutsu," Kakashi spoke, leaning against a tree. Sasuke had to make something absolutely clear. "She is not my girlfriend." It came out rather undignified, yes, but he didn't want to take time and let Kakashi assume the wrong answer. Kakashi chuckled. "If you are going to rebuild your clan, you're going to have to find a wife. And from what I've seen so far, she obviously likes you. And if you need any ideas, I might actually feel generous to let you borrow my Ika paradise." Kakashi then showed a rather interesting and graphic illustration from his book. Sasuke had to pinch his nose to keep the blood from rushing out. "Enough," he shouted, full of rage. "I'm not like them. You can say that after you have gotten a bell, little Uchiha," Kakashi said, putting away his book. Sasuke threw a few shuriken, but Kakashi dodged to the left, only to fall into a trap. The shuriken Sasuke had thrown had cut through a wire, launching multiple kunai at Kakashi's current position. Again Kakashi dodged, only to be met by Sasuke's sneak attack. Sasuke attacked blow after blow, but none of his attacks were able to break through Kakashi's defense. However, Sasuke's attacks had left an opening to reach for the bells. But Kakashi saw it coming. It was obvious. Kakashi was analyzing his skills as the fight raged on. Taijutsu is decent and creative, but still lacking. Preparation skills are good but not thorough enough. I'll admit you are good, but you're not great. Your skills are still lacking. When Sasuke started seals, Kakashi knew what attack was coming even without his Sharingan. Gakakyu no Jutsu. He was underground before the attack could singe him. When the fire and smoke cleared, Sasuke saw nothing. What he could have dodged, where is he? Above, behind, left, right, he felt something grab his foot. "Under your nose, little Uchiha. Shinju Zanshu no Jutsu." Sasuke was then pulled underneath. He now gazed up to Kakashi. "Your ninjutsu isn't bad either, but it's not enough to match up to me." Kakashi walked away. "I'll be waiting back at the starting point if you want a rematch, but you might want to hurry up and dig yourself out first." As soon as Kakashi left, Naruto walked up carrying Sakura bridal style. Sakura came to, but when she saw who was carrying her, she passed out again. "Damn, that's the 4th time that happened. And it's really starting to annoy me," Naruto said, putting her down and turning towards the Uchiha. "You look ahead of the situation," Naruto joked. Sasuke merely glared at him. "Look, I'll make you a deal. I'll dig you out of your hole and all you have to do is help me get the bells. Of course, if you like playing in the dirt, I'm not going to stop you." Sasuke didn't answer for a while, but when Naruto moved to leave, the Uchiha caved. "So you got a plan?" Sasuke asked, brushing some dirt off of his shirt. Sakura was strangely quiet now that she was fully awake. After Naruto threatened to hurt her if she passed out again, she just sat there not moving or talking. "A plan, fuck that. We go, we beat the shit out of him, and we get bells." At Sasuke and Sakura's deadpan look, Naruto sighed. "Look, if you guys want a plan, fine, we'll wing it. Make it up as you go along. Take turns attacking, hit hard, cover one another's attacks, and don't get in my way." "Yeah, that should do it. Now hurry up," he said, walking away. At his command, Sakura instantly got up and followed. Sasuke mumbled something under his breath but reluctantly followed as well. Kakashi could feel their chakra signatures getting closer. He put his book away. So they managed to put away their differences and take a last stand. Not bad. I didn't think they would get it. A dark blur jumped over the clearing, sending out a huge fireball. So Sasuke is long-range support using ninjutsu. Kakashi jumped out of the way, letting the fireball explode in front of him, but had to keep on the move with weapons raining down on him. And weapons are used to conserve chakra while giving enough time to perform more ninjutsu. A few more fireballs and plenty more weapons followed. The others must have also lent him their weapons. Sasuke landed and having used up all his weapons sent one last fireball before his legs gave out on him. Mikazuki no Mai, Naruto style. Multiple copies of Naruto surrounded Kakashi. So Naruto is at point, but this is Hayat's move and I know how to block it. Waiting till the last minute, Kakashi spun around catching Naruto's blade in his hands. Hayat trained you well, but your attack is much weaker than his. Naruto just smiled and answered. Who said it was supposed to be as fast as his? Didn't you hear this is MY version? The other Narutos that had surrounded him struck. He hid shadow clones in the shadow of his illusional movement. I'm now thoroughly impressed. All the attacks hit Kakashi, turning him into a pincushion before the man just burst into smoke. Naruto fell to the ground sweating and breathing heavily. You bastard, you had a substitute made just in case. Kakashi nodded. While that is a very impressive technique, it should only be used as a sure kill on a trapped opponent. It's too easy to dodge if prepared. And the strain it puts you though to use the illusion and make clones in the shadow doesn't allow you to press the attack. Nonetheless, very impressive. Pushing himself up, Naruto took 2 unsteady steps to Kakashi before he stumbled and fell down face first, his hand inches away from the bells. Naruto's hand clenched in anger. He was so close, but his body just gave out. He was still conscious, but he couldn't move. Now where is the third one? Wait, he didn't hear the slight chime when he moved. Turning around, he saw Sakura holding the 2 bells. She just stared at Kakashi nervously. Then Kakashi did something none of the genin expected. He laughed. When he finally stopped, he answered the confused looks on the 3's faces. Naruto and Sasuke having found the energy to pull themselves into a sitting position. Excellent, you all pass. There is way too much potential here to waste on someone else. Besides, I've been bored as hell ever since I retired from the NBU. And since you are all already warmed up, we'll stop for a lunch break and start training immediately. But before we begin, I'm sure you're all wondering what the point of the test was. He walked over to the stone a few feet away. You will find a time when you will have to choose the mission or a teammate. My family, friends, and even loved ones' names are all carved into this stone. Though we're all killed in action. To abandon your mission does make you a failure, but to abandon your teammates make you even worse than that. Now each you're going to need all the energy you can get. They didn't know how long they had went through the agonizing torture called training. Even Naruto would be exhausted even with his amazing stamina. Of course, the fact that his tasks seem harder, and he trained after Kakashi was done with them might be reasons as well. Kakashi may seem laid back, but he was a monstrous task master. The guy said he was once in the NBU, a captain no less, and with the training he put the genin through, they believed him. He gave them each numerous tasks to do, each unique to the others and all before he even showed up. Then when he finally got there, he would pile on more training tasks that pushed you to your limits. All the while he would lecture on things from team attacking to self-scouting, and you couldn't ignore him, cause he would ask questions to make sure you were listening. It was drilled into them from the start. Then after each training session they do a mission or maybe several. This was Kakashi world. His word was law. You disobey and you'd suffer. Enough. At that the 3 genin fell to the ground, exhausted. They had finally finished. This specific task involved them using chakra control to stick a leaf to their forehead while also sticking to a tree upside down, doing full sit-ups with legs extended straight out, then switching to sticking to the tree with hands and doing pull-ups with legs at a 90-degree angle. All with random pauses to where they didn't move, just hold the chakra control steady. Good work, team. That's all for today. I'm going to see if I can get us a C-ranked mission. Kakashi then walked off. They would have sighed in relief if they didn't know Kakashi had godlike hearing. And the results of training were nothing to scoff at. Sakura had had the most trouble at the beginning, but she slowly was able to start keeping up. Her low, nearly pathetic chakra levels had jumped to standard levels of where a kunoichi's should be, and she still retained her excellent control. She didn't quite have a role yet, but she knew the basics of all 3 ninja areas. Sasuke chakra did not have the colossal leap Sakura's did, but his reserves were larger along with the added control. He leaned toward ninjutsu and taijutsu areas, each focusing his unique Uchiha-style combat. Naruto's chakra didn't jump because of his already amazing reserve, but his control soared, it being his main focus in training. While Sasuke and Sakura didn't know his strength exactly, they knew he was not someone they wanted as an enemy. Naruto mainly used his katana, Yamato they believe he called it, in battle with very few ninjutsu and genjutsu. But just because they were few didn't mean they weren't powerful and constantly being used and mastered in new ways. They would also see him move as if to use his bandaged arm, but they never did. His arm was as much a mystery as Kakashi's face. As Naruto rested, he thought back to the second vision he had. Naruto had almost forgot about the strange visions. The only one that had occurred was when he graduated the academy. The strange woman said they would happen more often. And here he was again. But he was somewhere else this time. This time he was in a large room. Numerous detailed markings covered the walls, ceiling, and a platform in the middle of the room. The same two guys from his last dream were here as well, in battle again. While their swordsmanship was still better than Naruto's, Naruto was catching up. As they fought, their blood from wounds seemed to be absorbed into the ancient runes beneath their feet. The blood continued to come. Each one gave the other and wound for wound. It was impossible to tell who was winning. "So, you feel like coming out?" Naruto said out loud into the room. The mysterious woman from his last dream materialized from the shadows, walking up to him with a slight sway in her hips. "Your devil powers have grown from our last meeting. I must say your rate of growth is astounding. I'm able to find your signature easier now. As we speak, I'm currently tracking you down." Naruto tensed. "Why are you tracking me? Better yet, who are you and why do you care?" Naruto was surprised when she bowed deeply and knelt in front of him. "I am a servant to Sparta's heirs. I have not sensed a worthy heir for years. Forgive me, my young master. I am known as Trish. I am a guide of sorts for young ones of Sparta's blood. I am tracking you to help you develop into your full devil heritage." She didn't move from her position and spoke with her head down. Naruto was not used to people coming out of nowhere and just pledging allegiance to him. He responded in the only way he could think of. "Get up, I haven't done anything for you to need to me." The woman now known as Trish seemed surprised with his response, but rose anyway. The room then darkened like the last time. "What, time's up already?" Naruto asked. He looked over to Trish warily. The memory of how he was sent out from the vision last time still fresh in his mind. Trish shook her head. "No, master, merely a change. Watch, for a new battle is beginning." She turned to the blackness that was now forming something else. The scene formed before them. Instead of the room full of seals, they were now in some kind of water area with crystal-like pillars around them. The man in red just blocked a strike from an insectoid-like demon with a claymore-like blade. "Behold the form of Sparta, young master," Trish said. "What do you mean, the form?" Naruto questioned. "Is he that Sparta guy or not?" The demon then mutated into a formless blob-like creature. "That is not the true Sparta. Nor is he of Sparta's bloodline. Therefore he cannot harness or control the blade he holds in his grasp. He is only turned into his inner darkness." They both watched as the battle raged between the man in red and the blob. Even though the man in red was clearly stronger, his cockiness cost him. A strike lashed out, and would have got him if it weren't for the man in blue's intervention. The two working together in battle instead of fighting each other was an amazing sight. Every move was backed up on instinct. Neither of them communicated, they just reacted to one another. The blob was powerless against their onslaught. Even though the blob blocked them from their signature weapons, they only used the other's weapon just as efficiently. And with one final blast of demonic power, they finished the blob. Everything then darkened again. "Now we are out of time, young master. Return and think about what has been shown to you." Trish faded from view and Naruto found himself looking at the ceiling of his apartment. "Hey, Naruto." Naruto was brought out of his memory by the pink-haired girl. "Hey, you there? I've been trying to get to you. Kakashi-sensei managed to get us a C-ranked mission, but we have to catch that damn cat again. He said the Fire Lord's wife personally requested us for the mission since we get it back so fast." She started walking off behind an already moving Sasuke. Naruto growled. "Fucking cat. I wanted to kill it the 5th time, but no, that's against the rules. Fuck rules, that the thing needs to die." Still grumbling, Naruto followed. Thanks for listening. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you want the next part of this video, like, subscribe and comment down below and turn on the bell notification. And also check out other videos that I have created and enjoy. See you in the next video. Peace.